Hey, everybody. Are you excited? She's back. My girlfriend, Corbie Mitleid, and I can't wait to hear what she's got hiding up in her crystal balls or cards, or God only knows where she gets all that information from, but it's from the other side. Anyway, get ready. We're going to have a blast.
Now shut up. The show's starting.
Hey, everybody. Are you ready? We're going to have fun today. Oh, my God. I see the numbers. Everybody's popping in. But, oh, my God. It's been a crazy, crazy month. 3 weeks of Mercury retrograde. And it's so cool when Corbie comes on, because maybe she can give us some more answers on or her thoughts on what's happening in the world and the craziness of what's going on in this country. So without further ado, I know she's sitting in the wings, ready to come on and talk about all this fun stuff. Please welcome my girlfriend, psychic medium, one of the best in the world, Corbie Mitleid. There you go. Hey, Corbie.
Hello, my darling man. How are you?
I'm fine.
Good.
I just love this music. It kind of gets me in a good mood. Oh, there they go. Everybody's already. Let's see who's popped in. Wow, here they come. RJ, Legender, Cindy Taylor, Richard Fuchs, Sandira Naidu. Hello, everybody. Everybody's starting to pop in. That's what happens here. Yep. Here they come. You know, I did a show last weekend, just at the last moment, because it was Memorial Day, and we did pretty good.
Really?
Yeah.
You weren't out barbecuing?
I guess they weren't. Oh, there's Carol Winter, and Tammy Showmate, and Cheryl Reese Blevins. Everybody's popping in. My wonderful special guest, who we've decided we're going to do this like once a month, is the Corbie Mitleid.
It's too much fun not to. I mean, really.
I know. Corbie Mitleid. I said, I put a D on it. Mitleid. If you notice, Corbie puts it in her thing here so that doofus me will get it, pronounce it right.
Honey, everybody is doofus, everybody. Nobody gets it right the first time. They say Mitleid, they say Mitleid, and it's like, Mitleid, please, somebody speaks German.
I'm Mitleid. We talk to her now. We do it the right way.
Yeah. So
that's my German. That's all I do. Karen F is in. Barbara DeBella is in. Have you met Barbara DeBella, Corbie?
No, the only DeBella I know is the old guy on WMMR in Philly who used to call it the DeBellaware Valley.
Barbara's dad was the famous makeup artist Joe DeBella at Warner Brothers.
Really? That's a much better DeBella than a radio guy.
Katharine Hepburn. He did all of the major stars. He did A Planet of the Apes, all that stuff. But Barbara, I'm surprised Barbara hasn't contacted you to have one of your fabulous readings, because she's a big supporter of all my friends who are psychic mediums. She and her sister Janet are amazing. Hey, Julie McCafferty and Pam Stubbs. Oh, Pam says phonetically, yes, Corbie Mitleid. Mitleid. So how have you been, girl?
Been great. Now that Mercury retrograde is over for all of us, but luckily, according to my fabulous astrologer, Pat Dumas, I had to reveal the new website while Mercury was retrograde, but it was okay because it was a redesigning of the website. When you do a it's okay to do it in a retrograde.
Right.
But it's been wonderful. Everybody is so excited. This entire month, I'm doing huge specials to, hello, here's the new nest. So all of your listeners, you want to have a reading with me and you want a little bit of a discount this month, you go to the website. Plus, if you have a reading this month, you are in the hopper for a free 1-hour reading with me at the end of the month.
Boom. Get out of here. I'm typing this in right now. Corbie Mitleid. Hold on. I got to spell it right. Corbie.
That's okay.
Mitleid. No, I just want to make sure .com. There it is.
Right.
So I'm putting that up there. So if you all can copy and paste that. Actually, what I can do is I can do this. HTTPS. Where's the semicolon /
So you know all the delicate stuff.
An error occurred. Wait a moment and try again. I knew I was going to do that. Hold on. https colon
/
Corbie.
MIT.
No, I got it, Missy. I just am terrible. I am like, I always screw up. Ask Frank Hagan, who I write with. He
Right.
laughs at me all the time because I screw up everything. And he goes, you are the worst writer. There it is. Okay, so when we go in, I'm going to
Perfect.
test it right here. There it is. So on the YouTube where I put it in, if you click on her name, it takes you straight to her website. And it's fabulous because I got a chance to see it and make comments before it went live.
Of course, I had to have my special beta testers. I mean, really.
No, so how's everything in upstate New York?
Full of pollen.
Full
Our
of pollen?
cars are covered in yellow every morning from tree pollen. It's just, yeah.
We are. Let's see, where are we at today? We are at hold on. We are at, let's see, what's the temperature right now in Vegas? It was hitting close to 100. Let's see. We are at only 98 so far. But it's always
I prefer us. I mean, outside it's sunny, little tiny puppy clouds, and a glorious 73 degrees. I'll take 73.
So would I, but we have no humidity, so it's a dry heat.
Yeah, well.
And James Bowman popped in. Thank you, James. So we were just talking. We were talking about before we came on. I was telling you how I almost
romance.
Romance
this month has been into the camp. Does Bruce love me?
Okay. Explain that to people who don't understand camp. Does Bruce love me?
95%. Everyone says, well, what do people ask you as a psychic? 95% of the questions are always about romance. And they're always they start out with, does this guy love me or this girl? So the does Bruce love me is the shorthand for it. I don't know if it's, spring is in the air, love is in the air, and where's mine? And everybody has been saying, there's this guy, there's this girl that I've been talking with on name dating website.
Right.
And we were falling in love, and it was so obvious. And 2 days before we were going to see each other for the first time, I get this, I'm sorry, but I can't do this. I hope you're well. Goodbye. Okay. What did I do? You didn't do anything. The universe is saving you from an idiot.
Which is what happened to
yes. When somebody is not ready to date you, why should the universe dump him in your lap? Get a clue.
There's also not well, in my particular situation, I got out of this before all of a sudden it's called the Sweetheart Google Play Card scam. Look it up. Sweetheart Google Play Card scam. So I had met this guy online, and he was everything I could imagine. We actually video chatted. So I saw him, and it was great. And he just, I guess he read the script perfectly. Everything was oh my God. I was like, this is unbelievable happening to me. I mean, it was everything I could possibly imagine. And it was great. First day was cool. Second day was cool. Third day, today, all of a sudden, he made the hint yesterday going, I think I might have used up some of my data on my internet. Okay, now don't laugh at me, people.
Red alert.
He was from Istanbul, Turkey. Okay.
Not Constantinople.
Istanbul. And I was like, okay, he's from Istanbul. That's cool. And we connected on WhatsApp. So he had the Istanbul country, the Turkey country code. Everything was like, it was all perfect. But that was that one little thing yesterday about the data. So this morning I'm running to the grocery store. I did it really early this morning before it gets hot here. You do that when you're local. And I'm in the grocery store, and he goes, Michael, I don't know if I'm going to be able to keep talking to you because, it was also his birthday. And I go, why? He says, because I'm out of data from talking with you and video chatting for so long. And I said, and he goes, but you could help me for my birthday. And I said, what's that? He goes, well, you could go there in your supermarket and get a Google Play card and just put some money on it so I can get my data. And I'm like going, okay, your data, how much is this Google card? We don't do Google cards in the grocery stores here. You do it online. He goes, oh, it's just $200. Ding, 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 ding. I know. And I went, $200. Well, the internet is very expensive in Turkey. I said, $200, and I looked it up, $17 for internet in Turkey. And anyway, it was just very, very funny. And I saw it. The next thing I know, I said, this isn't happening. Boom. Next thing I know, his profile had disappeared. Everything had disappeared, and he was gone. Boom. Yes, Pam, sounds like a scam. It is, because when I came home, I looked it up, and he played the playbook of the Sweetheart Google Play card. And here's the funny part. He had deleted, this is what he said to me, because let's just delete our profile since we've met each other. And like a stupid fool, I didn't totally delete it. I just removed it temporarily, and he did. And then guess what happened? I go back on. He thinks I've deleted my profile. There he is, back again as Austin instead of Mirak. And I was laughing. So anyway, people, be careful. Do not send money. I mean, I didn't. And it was so funny. My friend, oh, hey, Gwen Shibley. Gwen was there yesterday. That's Gwen. She's fabulous. And Gwen was there. We were having breakfast yesterday when a brunch, when we were talking to the boy in Turkey while we were having brunch. I mean, he was good. He was good. Okay, Afro Joe DeWookie's here. Angela from New Zealand's here. We've got Canada. We got Norway. Hey, Kamala from Norway. Anyway, so that's, I guess you're saying you've just had a lot of people do that to you this time.
Everybody needs some help with a romance, but you know me. I hit them upside the head gently with a clue brick, and then we look at where the next people are. But I'm telling you, when they're complaining, what do? This is a special deck by John Gray, the guy who did Men Are From Mars, Women Are From Venus. Right. And I always pull 8 cards. 4 are what you need to bring to the table, my client. And 4, if the dude or the dudette does not have these 4 things, it is a non-starter. Do not waste your time.
Hold on 1 second. Getting rid of the crazies that are coming in and telling people, if anybody comes into this room and says, send me a friend request so I can read you, get rid of them. This woman I keep blocking her, and she keeps coming back.
See, I'm going to write down her name so she doesn't get into mine too. So
her name is Laya Marie. See her there?
We are going to thank you for making sure that we can spread the word that you're a poacher. How kind of you. Blessings on your journey, darling.
Yeah, she's block user. There it is. Okay, user was blocked, but they kept popping back in. So anyway, never had turkey during brunch.
Very funny.
Very funny. So you were saying before I rudely interrupt you about the cards.
You didn't interrupt me. Leah interrupted me.
I know.
No, one of the things people need to understand is what they need to bring into a good relationship. And that's what these cards are for. I have no idea why we're having a little trouble showing them, but
oh my God. It's like, do you have chroma key on?
I have no idea what the hell
green screen. I think you might have your green screen turned up, but it's okay because whatever is there green on that card?
Yes. It is. Better.
Yes, everything that's green is disappearing off your card.
I know, and I have no idea what the flowery thing is, but you know. So anyway. Oh, all right. Are we going to have our animal communicator in here, Manfred? That's my Maine Coon, who sometimes walks the desk. So anyway, love. A lot of people are asking for love stuff, and I'm already saying people need a reading. Do they understand how we do readings here when I'm with you, Michael, darling?
No, but we will explain what happens is that when Corbie will sometimes zero in on somebody. She'll feel something when they have a message. Like Alba Leone goes, I need a reading. Well, Alba, that's going to be kind of difficult because you're not giving us anything specific. It's like, let's see. Well,
what could I give you vague?
Yeah, give me vague.
Fine. God loves you and the universe has your back. That's kind of bullshit you're going to get with, to give me a reading.
Mm-hmm.
One of the reasons that I could read as fast as I do is because you work with me. If you've got a love interest, give me their first name. Ask a specific question. Mm-hmm. Vague gets vague.
Right.
You want sharp? You give me a sharp question.
Correct. So let me see.
But we don't do dead people.
Yes, we don't do dead people. So don't ask, is Catherine Hepburn here?
I need to speak to my Aunt Mabel. You can speak to your Aunt Mabel with me, but it's a private session, because if she comes across with a mouthful that you would not want people to hear, I will not censor her.
Okay, Alba. Okay, here we go. Here we go. Alba came back up. Thank you, Alba Leone. She's 71, retired, hoping to move to Portugal. Lourdes is the girlfriend and 46 years my younger. Girl.
All right, so the question is, we're going to pull 2 cards. If you move to Portugal and if you don't. If you move to Portugal, it's going to be, there's the green again. It's going to be a little difficult, but notice the woman is surrounded by swords, but she's not pinned down. So you're going to have to keep your eyes open and under your own power. If you decide not to, there is a growing position. There is self-growth, self-improvement, and somebody else. So am I going to tell you not to? No, my darling. I do not have you on a leash. You're not a puppy. But realize it is not going to be sunshine and roses. You're going to have to work on this relationship.
A lot of people, a lot of expats are moving to Portugal. There's a lot. I was reading about it recently. It's very cheap to live there.
It's cheap to live there. I have some clients myself that are already moving there, but you know, frankly, they're wealthy. They can just move in, get their kid in a private school, and they're fine.
Right.
So,
but I think a lot of people are retiring there too.
Yes.
And
yes.
I was going to say, Michelle Kahn, thank you for taking the time out of your day to do this. You're welcome, Michelle. Thank you so much. And then she just wrote, sending light, love, light, and peace, joy, and laughter, and health to all. All right, thank you. And what is this that she's a hi? What kind of reason do you do, please? I like playing cards. I think it's called cardmancy.
Yes, what she said, cartomancy, Cartomancy.
Right.
Cartomancy is reading with a standard playing deck. A lot of quote unquote gypsies do that. I have 8 different kinds of decks. I've got my standard tarot. I've got 8 different oracle decks, because oracle decks can kind of fill in and give you a little more depth to the reading.
Right.
So basically what we're doing here is what I call the everyday tour bus: house, car, job, kids, finances. Okay, God, you put me here. What the hell?
And the lovely Alba said, thank you, Corbie. And Michelle said, you're welcome. So that's always good. Let's see. At Corbie, looking for a new home. Does this month or next month look good for finding the one? Thank you. That's
okay, Tammy. So June, July. I'm actually going to pull August just in case. June, you could look, but there's going to be a lot of competition for what you want. July, I think you'd find something and it would be much faster. What about August? August, I wish these cards would behave.
Because you got your green screen button on.
And I don't know how to fix
No, we're not going to do it.
No,
we're not going to do it.
The King of Wands says that in August, if you haven't got a home by then, look for one that is for sale by owner. That is going to trip your trigger.
Right. That's what's happening with me right now. I think I was telling you that. I'm going crazy because they're raising the rent so much in Las Vegas. I mean, it's crazy. Oh, this is really important right here. Hold on before I go on with mine. My friend Gwen Shibley. Tom is her husband, and he's been dealing with some issues. Will Tom get some pain relief after his procedure on Tuesday?
I think this is a big yes. It's the star card. It's the God has your back card. So I think it's a big yes.
Gwen is one of the kindest, sweetest people, and her husband, Tom, are good friends of mine. And we're the ones that had brunch yesterday.
Okay.
But what was I saying before I had a brain fart? Oh, yeah. So like my landlady is in Taiwan.
Yeah.
Right now. And so I had written her a letter because we had talked about doing an owner finance, because what's happening is, I mean, my unit that I live in now has been raised to $1,000 or more a month. Not mine, but that's what they're doing. It's insane what is happening in Las Vegas.
It's everywhere, Michael.
Everywhere.
It is everywhere.
And they're wondering why people are on the streets living in tents, because they don't have the income to qualify for these rents. You know, it's nuts. It's this crazy thing. And like, well, with the Las Vegas, there's no rent control. So with rent control, they can do whatever they want. So she said, she wrote me back and said, Michael, I've got your email, and we'll talk when I get back from Taiwan at the end of June.
Okay.
So I think we'll work something out. I'm not sure.
I'm sure she will. You know, I've told you, I see that.
Yeah, I know. So we're working on it. Hold on. Here's Richard. Richard is in Canada, I believe. I'm a very old soul who feels barely connected to this world, and I'm anxious to move on. Is this normal? Are you talking like suicide or dying?
Not necessarily suicide, but he's really done. And if he dies by being hit by a bus, he doesn't care. I think that's where he's going.
Okay.
Now, for someone like you, I often talk about human versus other. Okay. What does that mean? Me, I'm always human. That's the soul just comes in human life after life after life because the human experience is good for me. However, other are people that this is a foreign exchange student. Maybe they're from, Pleiades, or they're a different kind of avatar. And so they always feel slightly weird on Earth. If you ever saw the movie Powder, that is a perfect example of other.
Ah, I got goosebumps. I remember that movie. It was amazing.
So, Richard, I think what it is you probably are what I call a half wing, and realize that you're going to be here because you don't do a foreign exchange student thing as other unless you're here to help us, because we tend to be dim. Okay. Most humans are like ants in a computer class. Not only can they not do the work, they can't even hold the pencil in their whittle paws. So that, my darling, is why you're here.
Right.
Deal with us, have compassion, realize that you came in to do some of the work. And for those of us that are here to do some of the work, we are very, very grateful.
And he wrote, not suicide, just done. And Tammy Shoemate, you are so sweet. Thank you so much for the $20 tip. And she thanks Michael and Corbie on that one. That is so great. Your tips that you send through YouTube help me pay for the internet. It helps me pay for this. It helps me pay for all this, everything. It's crazy, crazy, crazy. And I thank you all so much when you contribute that. And also, for those of you that want to have a private reading, as Corbie said, there's a lot of people have checked in since she made the last announcement, and we're going to make it as many times as we want. But Corbie has specials this month in celebration of her brand new website, her completely redone website. And it is amazing. That goes with the fabulous pictures that I saw. But you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to go over here so I can just clip this. Hold on. Let me go right here. Oh, duh. I'm sitting there. What I want to do is so I don't have to type it every time. Is yeah, and there it is, Corbie Mitleid, and there you are with your isn't that amazing, Corbie Mitleid, her Twitter, your Google page.
I know this guy finally made me get a verified Google page. He's so smart about this thing.
And it makes sense. There we go. So there's Corbie's. There it is. That's the correct link right there. And it's so fabulous. And you can there's everything. You meet Corbie, you find out what will happen. There's also everything talking about the month of June with the special offers to celebrate the new internet nest. And
ravens have nests. I mean,
there's a drawing for a free $250 1-hour general reading. Did I say reading?
Yes, you did.
Now, like, hello, Elmer Fudd.
Yes.
We're going to find the rabbit. We're going to find the rabbit and get a weeding with Corbie. But if you go on her page, you'll see the Twitter, the Instagram, and her newsletter, Flight Patterns. Now, do you write with Medium as well?
Yes, Medium is where I'm doing almost everything these days.
How come you don't have that on there?
I am not in the Medium partnership program because when you do that, only people who are paying Medium, the $50 a year, can read you. And to me, it's more important that people get that information.
Gotcha. Gotcha.
But that's what people having readings with me do. They help me keep Medium free.
Okay, we're going to go down here to Karen. Oh, and thank you, Mary Patty. Every time I see your name, Mary Patty, I want to do my nails and my toenails. I don't know why. I'm going to have myself a Mary Patty. Here we go. Karen says, "Hey, Corbie, I've heard other mediums talk about the light that we see after death and stating we should not go towards it. What's your take on this?"
It's none of their business whether you go toward it or not.
Because I saw the light.
frankly, the light is the exit sign. But if it's not your time, you will not be able to go through. You won't.
I have goosebumps when I had COVID
Yep.
and I died in the lobby in the back of the ambulance for 30 seconds. I saw the white light and I was like going towards it. And then the next thing I know is I was up. And I remember the paramedic in the ambulance going, "You're back with us, Mr. Airington." And he was so fucking gorgeous that I thought I was in heaven. I was in the back of the ambulance with the guy. But it is speaking of the light, it was like, it was there. I saw it, but I was moving towards it, but I didn't. It's hard to explain.
You didn't beeline for it.
I didn't beeline for it. I was more like mesmerized, like in Poltergeist. Come to the light, Carol Ann. You know? But I didn't see figures. I didn't see people. I didn't see, the shadows of, everybody I've known that's passed off since I've lived here, since I've lived on this planet Earth. But it was just this incredible, soothing, bright light. And that was it.
Wasn't your time.
And okay. Tammy says, "I heard if you go towards the light, you could be an option for reincarnation. If you pass and don't go in the light, well, you're still over there."
That's something interesting, Tammy. I've never heard of that. We are all opt in for reincarnation, but we do not make the decision. As I explained before, the soul is what reincarnates. These particular recipes, Michael, Corbie, were one and done. The soul reincarnates when it still has stuff it wants to do.
Right. Okay. For those of you that are popping in, new people, if you have a question, and be direct. Don't go, should I buy eggs today? You want to ask things like, if you have something that Corbie could sort of zoom in on, ask the question and be a little bit more direct here. And she will pick up on whatever she feels she picks up on and give you some advice or at least direction or an answer,
I see Gwen and I see Richard, and I want to address both. Put up Gwen when the boy's dead.
What was that, Gwen?
Yeah. When the boy's dad was dying, he said he didn't know which way to go. I told him to go toward the light, and he passed shortly after. This is so important, Gwen, and I give you kudos for this. In fact, I just wrote an article about it. People sometimes will stay if the people they love say, "Oh, Daddy, please don't go," even though they're ready.
Right.
Sometimes saying to our loved ones, "I love you. I will miss you. But if you want to go, go," is that thing that releases them. And that is the most compassionate and loving thing you can do for someone who is about to transition.
Gotcha. Okay. Wookie, Afrojo to Wookie, can I ask something? Sure. Put the question down there. And we'll get to it. Okay, here we go. Mary Colleen. Hey, Mary, you had a brain bleed in January and was hospitalized. Is there anything I need to do differently to improve my health?
All right, Mary, one of the things that a good professional does is when it's not their wheelhouse, but I know someone who is. I'm going to get off camera for 30 seconds.
It's okay.
Groups, Michael.
What is it? Are the babies there?
No. But what I want to do is I want to show people. Stacy Wells is my good buddy. She is the best medical intuitive in the United States. Wow. She and I were both in Robert Schwartz's books. She has seen brain tumors people have missed. She saw my cancer when nobody else did. Wow. STACIWELLS.com. I highly recommend that you get a medical intuitive reading for yourself with Stace. Tell her that you heard on Michael's show, because she can literally look into the DNA of your body.
Her name is Stacy, STACY?
STACI.
Oh,
WELLS. Here, I'm holding it up.
Oh, Stacy Wells.
Yes.
Okay, StacyWells.com. Hold on, let me put this together. Da-da-da. and .com. There it is.
Not
I'll
only-
put it up there. StaceyWells.com.
Yeah,
There you go.
I will not recommend anybody that I have not used, because too many times everyone else says they're wonderful and I have a reading with them and forget it. It's like the time that there was a wonderful meeting that everybody went to. And I said, okay, I'm going to try and have a reading with her, see what it's like.
Right.
And I sit down with her and she takes my hands and she says, "You're so lonely. There are no men in your life." Hello. And everyone had heard me talk about my husband, Carl.
Right. Right.
So that's someone I wouldn't recommend. Well, she's transitioned over a dozen years, so don't worry. But that's why if I give you somebody, I promise you they are really fabulous and professional.
You need to call Pam and tell her to come on the show. We've been talking about that. Remember your
Oh,
friend
that's
Pam?
right. We need to get Pat Dumas on the show. I
Pat,
will bug her, Pat.
Afro Dawookie. And you have to understand, Afro Dawookie and I go way back. We go back to like 2004, 2005, when I used to be on Now Live Radio.
Yep.
And he was one of the biggest fans, and he's one of the funniest people. And I guess he's saying, am I doing the right thing in my life? I mean, talking BS on YouTube to making people laugh on YouTube. Is it what I'm supposed to be doing? I'm guessing.
All right. Wookie, my darling. Couple things. Number one, there is not enough laughter in the world. When people laugh, their shielding goes down and you can get the message in. I have done stand-up comedy about You Think a Psychic's Life is Easy. So that's my take on the humor.
Right.
If you're doing the right thing, do you get to get up in the morning instead of have to get up in the morning? When you cross over and God hands you a beer and says, "So, are you going to get excited about telling what you got to do?" Then you are doing the right thing.
Interesting. Yes. So there you go, Afro.
Yeah.
You know?
Said, yeah, baby.
Okay, here's another one. This is Randy Sherry. My dad recently passed over. My aunt says he appeared to her looking young and he was smiling, and she knew he passed over before we told her. How is it that some people get that gift and me, his son, did not get to see him? It kind of angers me, to be honest.
Randy, number one, darling, breathe. We are all wired to see things, but it's like tuning in a radio. So it could be that your tunability is not as sharp. It could be that your dad knew that you were good, you were okay, that you wouldn't freak when he passed over. So in those fleeting seconds, he talked to your aunt. My mother, when she died in 1984, and it was very unexpected, family friends literally saw her walking away and shaking her head. No, she couldn't stay. The psychic saw nada. So they will go to those who would have the most difficult time with them going. It doesn't mean that you will not be able to talk to them later, but that's what happens in those split seconds when we know we are leaving the body for that. We will be pulled to the people who will suffer the most if they don't know we're all right. Right?
Right.
And I think that you had the grace and the maturity to know your dad was going to be okay.
There you go. Hey, Afro says, I know the feeling. I was born in 1984. Interesting. Interesting. So, hey, let's say, so who did I miss? Let me see. Mary Petty, thank you very much. Mary Colleen says, thank you so much for that. If you're just tuning in and you've got and Randy says, thank you very much. I hope that helped, Randy. Answer some questions. If you are in the room and you're listening, which I know many of you are in Esther Goldberg TV, and you have a question and you want to have Corbie zoom in on it and see what she feels or can pick up, be direct with your question.
I got rid of the green screen. Yay. Okay, fine.
Oh, did you figure it out?
Yes, I did. So we're not going to have
I'm just so glad.
now.
I'm just so glad you weren't wearing a green shirt or a cape. You'd be like,
no.
invisible
My
woman.
colors are black, red, screaming peacock blue.
Right. So if you have a question, please feel free to type it into the comment section, and we will get to it. What was that, Wookie? Let's see. What did you say? I lost my mother, Wookie, 3 years ago. My sister dreams about my mother. So she dreams, and explain that. So she dreams about your mother and you don't? I'm what you know, help us here.
Dreams don't always mean that we're on the astral with them. Okay?
Right.
When you know that it was more than a dream, the remembrance of that dream will be very strong and very fierce when you wake up. You will feel like you were there, as opposed to just dreaming. Okay?
Dreaming. Yeah. Wow. Hey, so what do you,
Yes.
okay, this is a heavy one. I mean, it has not, there's nothing there, but do you think we're going to get changes in the gun laws finally, or are they just going to keep kicking the ball?
You want kind or you want honest, my love?
I want honest. I think the whole world wants honest.
I think that as long as the Republicans are in power, and we're going to have to deal with them for about 20 years, I think. They will make it so that anybody can carry a gun anywhere with no licensure and no age limit. So
it's all about voting.
It is all about voting. It is all about control. You know, things are born, they grow, and they die.
Right.
America as we know it is leaving. It will never be like it was manifest destiny. And this is the fact that I married a professional historian. Every century, a country is the leading.
Correct.
Country. We were 20th century. England was the 19th century. France was the 18th century. 21st century, probably China. It used to be China or Russia. No, it's going to be China. But some countries gracefully take a step down, like England did, and others implode. We were a country born out of violence. We were a country born out of war.
Yeah.
And because we are a country that is so valuing the individual, and I don't care about anybody else, it's my tribe, then there's no reason that the Republicans would want anything but chaos and mayhem. Remember, if you have people in fear and terror and they can't trust anybody else, then you can control them. You will kill art when you do that as well. So we who are artists, we must continue.
It'll be interesting. It'll be interesting to see what happens on Thursday when they have this the hearings. For the very first hearings. I think it's going to be powerful. I don't know. I watch the Sunday mornings every morning on CBS on every Sunday, and they had Liz Cheney on there, and it was
we got
crazy.
Another one.
I know.
Arika Ade, another poacher.
Block user. Boom. You know I'm doing good when
poachers come up.
when we're doing okay when people are coming in to try to poach people. So she was blocked. Let's see. There were some questions up here. Hello, Chia. I'm wondering if I will get married someday. Hold on. Here come the cards.
All right. What's it say? Yeah, now you're lucky because this is my husband's card. Okay. You will get somebody like my guy. He is honest. He is monogamous. He is funny. He's straight arrow. He is authentic. Sometimes they can be a little boring, but it's worth it. So the answer is yes. Look for this kind of guy. As I often say, my first two husbands were like bad biker boys. I ended up married to Father Mulcahy from MASH. And I didn't know that's what I wanted till I had him.
Okay, I'm trying to. Don writes, did my husband know he was going to go when he said, no, don't call, and sent me to the store for medicine? So Don, did he say don't call and you went to the store for medicine and he passed away while you were at the store?
Probably it was don't call the doctors.
Okay.
My sense is, now, Don, I'm not talking to him, this because I told you I don't do mediumship, but my sense is he probably realized that it was going to be a very hard, long slog if they brought him back from the brink, and the quality of life would be wildly diminished. So looking at the two options, he said, I'd rather go fast.
Interesting. Here we go. There is this lightning Will.I.am Robin. I'm a 70-year-old woman, have bipolar. I'm down in the dumps and sleeping a lot. Will I get over this?
Robin, darling, what if I said no? Don't ask yes or no questions when you don't want one half of the answer. The better is, how do I? Okay. And for that, I'm going to pull from my Zen deck. Number one, do not, this is the comparison card. Do not compare how you feel with anybody else at all. Whatever you feel, you have the right to feel. Number two, friendliness. When we are depressed and very down, we turtle in from people. It is vital that you make connections. One person, one place. Do not turtle in and be alone. Third, integration. Now, that means pulling all parts of yourself together. I am not a psychologist. You know that. But what I'm telling you is, when we realize that we're doing the best we can, and these are our coping mechanisms, we can decide, do we want to run towards something or away from it? There is a fabulous book that I am working with right now. Yes, even Corbie has her problems. It's called The Happiness Trap. And it teaches you how to look at things like, not whether something is true or false, but is it helping me? When we take that off, is it helping me? Those answers we can come up with. So can you get out of it? You absolutely can. But you mustn't do it by beating yourself up. Do not do the beatings will continue till the morale improves, because it doesn't. Okay? I hope that helps a little bit.
Okay. Mary Petty, she wrote, my mom passed away. Tomorrow is 1 year. We were best friends. She was more like an older sister to me. And there's been a red cardinal hanging around her wind chimes I have hanging in the trees.
This is a very common sign. Favorite birds, songs, lights flicker. Cardinals are one of the favorite birds for that kind of thing. Sometimes it's a goldfinch. Sometimes it's butterflies. I have a friend who, whenever she is particularly missing her father, it can be on Muzak, it can be in the car, whatever. She turns it on and Crocodile Rock plays, because her father was an Elton dude.
Right?
So yes, there are ways that those who have gone on can send us a little note. Hello, I still love you, and I'm still watching. That's very probably what the cardinal is.
Okay, Terry Simmons. Hi. Will I stay at my current job as part of my service and purpose and keep moving forward for a while? Thank you. Will I stay at my current job as part of my service and purpose and keep moving forward for a while?
Actually, when I see yes or no's like this, I always like to give you the options, if you do and if you don't. If you stay at your current job, I've pulled two cards for you. There is still success for you and big celebrations. So it's not bad if you stay where you are. But if you decide, let me see what else is out there. Now, the Temperance card talks about wildly different. So it would be a completely different area of work. But it's going to be a place where you're juggling two jobs and working for one salary. You're that good, and they'll need you. But they are a startup, and they may not be able to pay you as well as the current job that you have. So it depends. If you're happy where you are, why switch?
I'm looking at a gentleman, Kelton Gates, who wrote, please help, hi. Please help, hi. Okay. And then he writes, is the baby that's on the way, is it mine?
I'm checking with upstairs to see if I'm supposed to answer this.
I know. It's like,
not my circus, not my monkeys, my darling. The answer is a 3-letter word, DNA. Get test.
There you go, Kelton. That's the way you'll find out. Let's see. Mom passed away. Will I stay at my current job? Hold on. I was sitting here. John Switzer. Let's see. What job? I took care of 2 widow sisters for 15 years. Their bookkeeper stole my inheritance, then died. Will they reach out to thank me in some other way? That was a tribute. We got some
Death is
romance.
death.
Huh?
Death is death.
Death is death.
Yes. They may be able to thank you, but after we die, we don't count what we owe because they're now in their full soul selves. This could be a karmic thing that you had to deal with. I would have to do a soul plan reading for you to check. But my sense is they didn't do this to you. And this is part of a cosmic learning for you. I'm not saying you deserved it. Big difference. But this is part of a cosmic learning.
There you go. So Kelton, we helped you on that. Thank you. I saw you said, "Hey, Mr. Michael, Miss Corbie." Yeah, we just took that. So you'd written that, and let's see. Here we go. There's a romance on the topic of love from my good friend Marie Rudolph in Washington D.C. Is a soul compatible, intimate partner coming into my life? Is that one of those? Let's pull the card.
This is a 4. No, this is a 4 and 4. Marie, in order to make sure one does, I'm pulling from my deck by John Gray, the guy who did Men Are From Mars, Women Are From Venus. I always pull 4 and 4. The first 4 cards are what you're going to need to bring to the table to make it work. Okay?
Keep listening. Keep listening.
Be with him because you want to, not because you're scoring points. Number 2, mirror back to this person the good things about them. Don't constantly harp about what's wrong. 3rd, make sure that they feel safe with you. 4th, no gossip. Now, what does dude or dudette need to bring to the table so that it's a good relationship?
Dudette. I know Marie. Dudette.
Okay. Number 1, no strong silent type. She needs to tell you how she's feeling. There's nothing you can do about this. It's going to be a karmic agreement. You will think you met this person before. Please, they need to have patience with you because I think you've been burned a little bit. And so you're a little dicey on just jumping in feet first. And they need to do a little nurturing for you. You're very much someone who takes care of people. Well, what about you? Now, real quick, I want to see if I see somebody for you in the next few months. June, July, August.
Yeah, don't do what I do. Go and get the crazies for the Google Play card.
Queen of Love shows up in December. Okay? Hang on. You may have a Christmas present.
There you go. See, my true love will show up at Halloween. I know it. I just know it.
That's because you'll want to trade costumes, darling.
That's it. It is. I get, it's so funny. I give up myself on asking you or Debbie or Lewis or anything about my love life because it's so whacked. It's just, I just think that when the time is right, the right person will pop in.
They will. And right now, it's your career that has to be your nearest and dearest because you are about to take off on a rocket ship. You really are. And we all
Marie says, thank you very much.
Good.
She's another one of my good friends I've known since like 1999, 2000 from Washington, D.C. Let's see. Hold on. Let me see. Let's go here. Just got here. Hey, Irina. People are just popping in. Oh, we're getting a bunch of people popping in all of a sudden.
Wonderful.
And for those of you popping in, my guest is the incredible Corbie Mitleid. Mitleid, not with a D. Mitleid.
Yes.
And she's one of the most incredibly world-renowned psychic mediums. She's amazing, and she comes on once a month now, and we just sit and giggle and chat. And if you've got a question, plop it in there, and we'll see what we can pick up. And you can also go to Corbie Mitleid, as I put it up again because I saved it. There we go. You could go to her website because the month of June with her new website, and please go to the website. It's really nice and it's fun. You can see all kinds of cool stuff. But she's got specials this month and a drawing for a big 1 hour reading.
And baby, I'm fast. We can get a lot done in an hour.
I've been there. Hey, Gemma Marilee. So anyway, so go there. Let's see. Hold on. John Switzer writes, I think they've helped me by preventing the bad things. Oh, okay. Hold on.
Yes, they could very possibly be spirit guides for you now that have your back. Absolutely. And I'm going to pop. Richard says it's a possible I was tricked into being.
I know. I was going to put that up next.
Richard, with all due respect, bullshit. This is why. Being tricked is what humans do. There is no tricking on the astral. Your soul sees everything, whether you're human or other. You cannot be tricked. That is a human deflective victim thing. You're down here because the soul volunteered you. You, as the personality, may not find the comfort. But, when you cross over, the personality drops. Example, I still work with my father, who was a great doctor. What comes in that is still Dr. Dorkin? His sense of humor, his compassion, his wonderful medical knowledge. What did he leave behind on the astral? His anxiety, his depression, and his hypochondria, because he doesn't need them. So no, you did not get tricked. You volunteered, baby. You may not like it, but you volunteered.
That's cool. Gemma Mary Lee just says, do you ever contact spirits? Yes, she does, but those are usually in private.
Dead people, spirit guides, of course I can. But remember, spirit guides grow and change. I may find somebody for you today that is different from somebody you get in 3 years.
Why does this, I didn't mean to click on this, but it popped up by accident. Dawn, right? Why does the soul suffer so much?
The soul does not. The soul cannot suffer. We, the personalities, feel the suffering because we're down here in duality. Duality is important because it's how we learn. There is no suffering in heaven. None. Because suffering is, look at the Buddhists, we want what we can't have, whether it's a friendship, whether it's money, whether it's understanding. In heaven, all of the trappings of humanity are gone. There is instant understanding, instant compassion. The soul doesn't suffer. The personality is the one with the angst.
This just hit me in my head. So, we talk about, Hollywood has said heaven is clouds and the pearly gates and all that stuff. And I just wonder.
Harp with your BVDs. No.
Right. Is heaven this is not a question you could answer because we don't know until we get there.
Yep.
And, it's the great mystery.
Anyway.
But at the same time, you wonder if it's just like this, if heaven is like the spirit still fly. We have friends that have passed on. Is part of heaven traveling? Is part of heaven the spirits floating around and popping in and touching us on our shoulders? It's like,
it can be. We call it heaven, but it's simply where we go afterwards.
Right.
There is no hell. Hell is where we put ourselves. Hell, after we die, is that life review where when we've been cruel, negative, whatever, we have to literally feel what we did as if it was being done to us. That segment feels like hell, but then we're done. God doesn't do grishes, guys. He doesn't. He doesn't. Do they know what a grisha is, Michael?
I don't know, but let them know. Tell them what it is.
Grisha, Yiddish.
Yiddish.
And you twist it to make sure it's in there good. God does not do grishes.
Right. No, and I listen, because the people that I know, and like yourself and all these, my friends who are gifted, who are intuitives and mediums and astrologers, it's like, I know there's something else. And it's so funny. We don't all want to die, but as I've gotten older, I'm not as afraid. Does that make sense?
That's the way some people go. Yes.
I'm like, okay. People ask me, but you're so young. And I said, but I've lived more in my lifetime than most people will ever live in 7 lifetimes.
Plus that, you are one of the lucky ones who knows, because you know Allie Cheslick.
Right. Oh, yeah.
Anybody who knew Allie Cheslick, we have no doubts that there is something beyond here.
Uh-huh. And it's true. And Allie Cheslick was because of Allie, I know Corbie and Debbie, and it was just incredible. But she was some of the things that she said to me and during the course of my life. And I still hear her voice during the days, when I was feeling down. I kept going, do I move from Las Vegas? I'm like, do I leave here? And then I hear Allie's voice, who said to me, before I ever even considered moving here, she had said to me 10 years ago, asshole, you need to be in Vegas. That's where you're going to make your mark. Vegas is going to make your mark. And I didn't believe her because I thought it had to be in Hollywood. Of course, things happened. Then I ended up coming here. I came here to work for this German company who turned out to be, remember they were like, they had the Ponzi scheme and they were using me at the center of the Ponzi scheme. And I remember Allie going, he's an idiot. But that's what the only reason why you got there. But look what just happens and you got here. But I mean, that, and then Allie was the only person who said Trump was going to get elected president when everybody said they weren't. And I said, Allie, you're so full of shit. She goes, shut up, asshole. I'm telling you right now, Trump will be the next president. And there's Allie.
This is our girl. The reason I'm showing her is 4 years before I wrote the book, she told me the books and what, etc., which is why this is the one that's dedicated to Allie, because she said, you're going to write this or I'm going to find out why. And what Allie says, that you do what she tells you.
Right.
So,
and I mean, she and I used to go at it. I mean, we would get mad at each other, wouldn't speak for months. And then finally I would get a phone call. I mean, I have that one. Did I ever play you the recording? I have kept this recording all these years. And it's the recording where she called me and I called her. And then she didn't pick up. And then I got a phone call and she calls me back and she leaves this message on my voicemail. Where the hell are you? I just called. Why don't you pick up? You literally just called me. You are such a fag. And only Allie could say those words. And
that's right. With love. With love.
With love. You are such a fag. Click.
Yep.
I saved that and I will play. I actually played it for Claudio when we were having dinner. Of course, we sat there and cried our eyes out because he and his wife, they're getting married. I think
it's about time
this weekend or next weekend. And
that's Allie's son, for those of you who don't know.
Yeah, right? Hold on. Okay, hold on. There's another one. Let me go block user, delete comment. Oy. There we go. Block.
All right.
user.
So who am I blocking? Brittany Davis.
Brittany Davis. Okay. They come. Block user. I forgot that I had to hit delete comment. I was not doing that. So either their comments were standing there. Let's see. Birth and death. Richard goes, birth and death aren't that much different from each other. Okay. Hold on. Do reading on my past. Hold on.
No, I'm sorry. We don't do mediumship here. Let me explain.
Just do reading on my past. Oh, do reading on my pass away.
Let me explain why we don't do mediumship here.
Yeah.
It's because when I get your dead person, we have a conversation. And I do not censor what they have to say. And there may be some things that are intensely private for you. So I respect your privacy. I will do it one-on-one. You can have a session with me. But on the air, I only do things that most people would not mind the public hearing.
Do you hear that, Kelton? And it's that's, I mean, she says that to everyone. So
I really do, Kelton.
And if you want to, I keep putting, it'll be on the YouTube page when this is over. You'll see it. It is,
these are my rules from my own free reading section. Right. See, no mediumship or health questions. So it's not that I'm being mean to you.
No, and she's not. Let's see. Karen F. I've been on a sabbatical from my profession, healthcare, grew tired of the system, turning from patient care to chasing money. What do you see me doing in the future? I just feel stuck.
Okay. I would love to work with you to see what your talents are. What if I said, I see you being an electrical engineer in Des Moines and you would put a fork in a light socket. Okay. This is not good. The skills I have, remember, I used to be an executive recruiter for engineering and manufacturing, a headhunter. So I'm really good at helping people with their careers. What I am going to tell you is what you've got to have within whatever you do. Okay.
Okay.
Number one, you got to approach it like a little kid. You got to see it as a playground. You can't just go in there and slog. Number two, avoid the bitchcraft, please. That's one of the things that has exhausted you. If you go into a company and they say, we have a lot of pressure, etc., thank you, but no thank you, live and be well. Don't do that to yourself. You're burned out. Third, believe it or not, this is a card that says, find a company that is established and gives decent benefits. Don't go startups. Don't go tiny entrepreneurs. You need a company that will have your back. Okay. I understand why healthcare is exhausting. It's because it's this country and healthcare is exhausting. But look at what you loved about healthcare in the beginning and see if you can find another place to put it. That is called transferable skills. Yes, I do business readings. Call, we'll talk.
Anina, I've got to roll back here. We're not ignoring anybody. I just have to see what your question was because there's so many. Let's see. Let me see. I've asked 3 times. Gemma, Anina. Okay. She writes. Okay. Anina writes, will my life become better and will I meet somebody soon?
Okay.
And
now,
so,
since I don't even have an age, I don't know how old to look for, but I will see if there's anybody coming up in the next 12 months.
how old are you, Anina?
And we don't know, am I looking for guys or girls for you?
Oh, gosh. She's
Okay.
Trouble's here. Deborah Tatel just popped in. I see her already. Oi.
Just for my Deborah.
She's in the comment room.
Okay, that's cool.
There she goes. Oh, that's too funny. But yeah, Annie, Annie, I think is her name. What's your age? If you can pop it in there.
Okay. Meanwhile, Randy Sherry, can we relive the same life again and maybe do it differently? It won't be the same recipe. It's like you can have 2 pieces of cake, but one is going to be Boston cream and the other one is going to be chocolate. Okay.
There you go.
Because there are so many moving parts. And you can come back and learn something, but you will learn it differently. For instance, my last lifetime, I died in childbirth. I came in not wanting to have children, rebalancing the energy. The book I really recommend if you want to understand reincarnation and life between lives is Your Soul's Plan by Robert Schwartz. A lot of these questions are answered in there. Now,
Anina is 58.
Am I looking for guys or girls for you, Anina? Probably guys.
Yeah. Because we're very open society here. So there you go, Anina.
All right. So I'm going to look for kings for you. They're 50 and over. Under that, they haven't grown any brains yet. August, September, October.
And Kimberly, if you could be Kimberly Reagan, you wrote a question there. So if you could be a little bit more specific, what kind of work do you do that we can help us? You can help guys, Anina goes.
Anina?
You nailed it.
Okay.
Anina.
July next year. King of Swords. Man who makes money with his mind. Doctor, lawyer, professor, architect, engineer, something like that. He really doesn't care as much about looks. If you're stupid, he will have nothing to do with you. He likes smart. He likes feisty.
And you're feisty, Anina, because you said, you're not paying attention to me.
Okay. So you're not going to be a little old lady with cats and pigeons. There is somebody for you, but I don't see it until next year.
There you go. Rich, Robin, Gwen says Robin is in. Ask something if you want, Robin, because we can't read your mind. Kimberly, you had said, do you see me being successful in working for myself or someone else? And I said, yeah, a little bit more specific, Are you already working for yourself? And there we go.
If you go the entrepreneurial route, or if you let somebody else write your paycheck, whether or not, whatever you're doing now, this is what your best
there she is
arena is. If you work for yourself, you love being the empress.
And see, she wrote right there, Corbie. She goes, I'm not working at the moment, but wondering if she should start her own business. Okay. She's 34.
You love being the empress, but there's more you need to figure out before you take the leap into entrepreneurship. And you need to find, I think, a partner who is in her head. One of you is going to be the sales and the other is going to be the visionary. If you continue to just work for somebody else, well, you can do it and live a happy life. You may feel trapped after about 4 years. And eventually you're going to say, screw all of you, and you are going to work for yourself. But unless you absolutely know what it is you want to run towards, now is not the time to run. Now is the time to let somebody else write your paycheck and really develop it so that when you have your own business, it's literally like an outgrowth of you. Okay? Think about Men in Black 2. Remember, little guy with head? That's your business. He's not there yet.
Wow. we got a bunch of new people popping in. So everybody that's popping in, I'm just letting you know, my special guest is Corbie Mitleid. She's an incredible world-renowned psychic medium, and you all are asking questions in the comments section. We're going to try to get to all of them because we just got a slew that just came in.
That's fine.
But if you want to, I'm going to put her website up because she's got some great specials, but we're going to talk about that. But let me get to some of these questions. This little sweetheart, Emily, will I be going back to the military or should I go into entrepreneurship? She's 20 years old.
If you go back into the military, make sure you're not just an infantry grunt. Make sure that your own skills are honed. If you decide to go into entrepreneurship, you'd feel trapped. You're not there yet. I'm seeing 30 or 32 for entrepreneur, because you will know a lot more about yourself and you'll have exactly what it is that you can give and sell to the world. Okay? Stick with the military if you can.
Sandira Naidu. Hi there. So you see me okay, she goes, you foresee me going home anytime soon. And she goes, I haven't been home in 4 years. Is this like to your family? How old are you? That helps a lot. If you want to.
The answer is yes.
There you go.
That's a happy relocation card. So you will go home. Whether you're going to stay there or not is going to be your decision. But yes, I do see you going home within the next 6 to 7 months.
There you go. Thank you, says Emily. And let's see, Robin. Oh, hold on. We just had Robin. Good afternoon. Well, financial as okay. Good afternoon. Robin says, will
somebody else take care of me is basically what this is.
As I age and go through life.
Robin, no. No.
She's been living abroad and she's 25.
The world is crazy right now. One of the most important things all of us will need to do is be self-reliant. We're not going to be able to rely on government stuff or marrying the right person or a job that will never leave us. We must always be able to take care of ourselves. This is why 20 years ago, I said goodbye to corporate. I had a $70,000 a year job in 2001.
That's good money.
Especially 20 years ago. And I left it because I had the sense that corporate was going to collapse. Mm-hmm. And women in the United States, at least, once you're 50, they throw you on the dung heap. So I started my own business. And now, frankly, I'll be able to work until I'm on my deathbed. And that's exactly the way I want it. So please, if there's a windfall for you, great. Don't ask me, you're going to win the lottery. My answer is always me first. And if the psychic isn't at least driving a Lexus, how do you know they know? But it's important that you do the work. Maybe you'll be able to retire early, but nobody is going to come and save your financial butt.
Okay, I just thought this one, Hippie Lives Matter, just made me laugh out loud. Well, how old are you now, Hippie Lives Matter? Will I be able to retire at 65? Okay.
Okay. Alice Johnson, poach.
Is that a poach?
Yes.
Okay. Gotcha. I just saw block user, delete comment. They're coming at us.
Yes, they are.
That means we're doing good because they want.
Yes.
They know people are coming in. I just love it. That just made me laugh. Hippie Lives Matter. He's 62. Okay. Let's see what happens.
Yes. Might be tight. You might want to work a little bit more if you can, but you would be able to survive.
In Portugal. You could become an expert. Yes. I'm kidding.
Yes.
No, I'm not giving you a psychic evaluation. I was just Hippie Lives. I was just being funny because you could live comfortably in Mexico somewhere.
I know. The thing is, there are a lot of places that I could look at where I could live comfortably, but they all have snakes. Not going there.
Right. And they probably got good ganja down there in Mexico. Let's see. This one is Billy John Varela Ostrander. I'm 80 years old, young. Just wondering if I will have health issues this year.
If you don't, honey, we want to find you and bottle you and sell you.
Right.
Seriously. Serious health questions, you go to my buddy Stacy.
StacyWells.com.
Stacy can do an overall check baseline for you. And she will be able to see if there is anything that is poking up its nasty little face. Okay.
There you go. You can go right there. There we go. There we go. There we go. So let's see how we doing here. Let me get rid of this. When I return home, okay, we already answered that. Living so much. I missed some others. Military, Sandra, I'm not working. Wondering if I should start my own business. Okay. All right. Here we go. We are now over 1 hour and 9 minutes. How you feeling, girl?
I used to do 11 hours for psychic fairs in Canada. This
I
is so
know.
easy. This is such a nothing. Besides, my husband is off to the Rhinebeck Aerodrome today doing dual stick checkout. So I'm fine.
There you go. If you're just zooming in because there are new people coming in, that's how you go to Corbie's website, CorbieMitleid.com. And I see people popping in and popping out. Let's see, where is everybody coming with the big one? Up, of course, is Esther Goldberg TV is the big one. Believe it or not, Esther Goldberg and Paul Lynn, followed by Politics is a Drag, is where people are coming from today. So if you've just popped in and you have a question, something that you want to ask, that is a very direct. We're not going to ask about dead people. But you have something. I
do mediumship, but only privately.
Right. If you want to ask about dead people, you're going to have to make an appointment.
Is it bad to use cannabis to go to the astral level? That's interesting.
See what you started, hippie?
It's bad for me, but there are people that do ayahuasca and they do mushrooms and it's great. So if cannabis works for you, that would be like somebody saying to me, is it bad to use tarot cards? I've been told they're evil. Well, not for me.
No.
So if cannabis works for you to go to the astral, have at it, boy, especially now that it's legal in most places.
Well, I love, Lewis Maybe, who's a good friend of mine, who comes on the show quite often. I always get tickled because whenever he comes to visit, we go to restaurants and I always buy him liquor. And I'm evil. I'm an evil friend. When Lewis drinks and has a couple of cocktails, he starts picking up on everybody in the room. He literally is like goes into a trance and we'll be eating. He'll go, no, you shouldn't do that. I go, what are you talking about? He goes, I'm sorry. I'm picking up this guy. On the other side of the restaurant. Has that ever happened to you?
No, when I'm a cork sniffer, darling. I can have a third of a martini, half a beer, or a glass of wine, and I turn 6 years old.
Oh my gosh.
It's sad.
Right?
Helpless giggles sliding under the table. No, booze does not help me do the work I do.
Oh my God, they're coming in like crazy all of a sudden.
Osa, oh yep, you've got that one.
She just came in and spammed us.
I'm writing these down so I block on all my.
Osa Samad, block user, delete comment. I mean, she must be sitting there typing 100 miles an hour.
Yep.
Here we go. This is here's an interesting one. Excuse me, JMS Martin. Will I be working in the Sorry, I just had carbonated water. Will I be working in the metaphysical field to bring in extra income at any time? I'm 70. Thank you. Are you metaphysical?
Rather than will I, can you? And what? I'll say right now, we need as many good metaphysicians as we can find. Do not let anybody tell you that, no, I've got business and you can't be in it. Please. I don't do everything in the world. So the key is, what are you good at? One of the things I do very often for people is they say, I want to do something light work or blah, blah. And we pull lots of cards for them. We pull Reiki, Shiatsu, craniosacral therapy, polarity therapy, aromatherapy, reflexology, cards, past lives, whatever. This is how it works. Pay real close attention, JMS. When spirit wants us and hands us our draft notice, they rifle in our file cabinet to find out what we're good at. Why do I do tarot and past lives so well? I was a theater major at Brown. I acted in New York. I know characters. Words are my drug of choice. I'm great at telling stories, and I have loved history since I was a wee thing in single digits. Put that all together, and tarot and past lives are a natural for me. So yes, welcome to metaphysics. Figure out what you love to do and start finding areas to do it in.
He says he's a Reiki master.
Then, baby, we need you. Okay? Simple. Make sure that if you're a master, you've had third, go do.
I get goosebumps. I had a Reiki master in Los Angeles give me a free Reiki. It was this beautiful kid.
Mhm.
absolutely stunning. And I see him online. He still does what he does, but he was a Reiki master. And he said, Mike, you ever had a Reiki healing? I said, no. And I went to his place, and it was this incredible old apartment building in Hollywood where like a lot of great stars had lived and whatever. And he does the whole thing, with me on the table.
Yeah.
But I know this may sound crazy, but his face changed. He
Mhm.
went from this beautiful boy to this incredible old man. And
Yeah.
I just thought, I didn't drink. I'm not having nothing. And and as he was talking to me, he was this aged face. And of course, he went back to normal.
Mhm.
And I told him afterwards, I said, you changed in front of me. Your face,
Mhm.
your beautiful, handsome face became this old man. And I just thought that was the most interesting thing ever. That's how I know I'm in tune to shit.
Mhm. Yeah.
And because I kept going, have I been possessed by the devil or Satan or nothing? But it was just, he was, I guess it was,
His
would it
shields
be
completely dropped, and he had a
his
read through.
his shields did.
Yeah.
And he allowed me to see who he
Mhm.
was.
Mhm.
I just thought that was really, really,
That's how heavily he was concentrating on doing the work.
yeah. And just amazing. Here we go. Hi, holy Chia. I'm wondering if I'll ever need to move home and take care of my mother. I feel so guilty that I moved out of state and I'm not there close by.
Holly, my darling, guilt does nothing. Guilt is what we beat ourselves up with to make sure we do what we think is the right thing. Guilt is not making your mother feel better. Dump it. If you would be so miserable there, would it be smart? Probably not.
Right?
I'll pull a card on it. If she collapses, yes.
Right?
But don't go until you are absolutely needed, and you're not needed yet.
Okay, let's see. What does this one say? Hold on. Bonnie, years ago, I was bit on my neck. Was this a demon or a spirit animal? I think it might be a hickey, Bonnie. Oh, here's an interesting one from Carol Winter. My son just graduated from high school. Will he be successful in his life? He has Asperger's.
He can be. He can
Yeah,
be.
yeah.
What does
I
he
used to
need?
see these stories all the time for these kids.
Maturity. It's going to take him a little while to find himself. He's going to need a team that helps him do the best he can. And he has got to find a place that accepts him exactly as he is. They don't see the Asperger's as, well, great, we can tick one off on our diversity level, or, well, we feel sorry for him. It needs to be a company that appreciates everything that he is. Okay. But
Gotcha.
yes.
What is this one? Are UFOs in any way connected with the astral level?
I have no freaking idea.
I was like,
UFOs are not in my wheelhouse.
There you go. I guess Debbie says you're using her favorite deck. Okay, Anne, will me and Mike sort things and move forward together in a relationship?
Okay.
Here we go. Relationship, here we go.
Simple. You, Mike, the relationship, what you need to know, and best possible outcome. You're kind of 50-50 on whether you should even bother. Michael, he feels he's been carrying most of the responsibilities for the relationship. Whether that's true or not, I don't know, but that's how he feels.
Wow.
But the relationship has good potential. What you need to know, be in your head, not your heart. What that means is don't get hurt feelings. Address the problem. We have a challenge. How are we going to work with it instead of pointing fingers? Probable outcome looks good. So I'd say, yes, you can, but you all need to have a couple of come to Jesus meetings over it.
Carol said her son with Asperger's, has some good friends. There you go.
Good.
Well, that will help big time. People keep piling in. Okay, I know you
Love
guys
it.
are out there. People zipping in from YouTube. My guest is the incredible Corbie Mitleid, and if you have a question, throw it into the comment section. We'll get to it, and we'll see. She's got her cards here with her, and from everybody that she's talked to, she's been pretty spot on this last hour and 19 minutes. So if you are checking in from the YouTube channel, thank you. Corbie Mitleid is amazing. And I've just, hold on. Bonnie says it's not a hickey. Teeth marks, but no sign of anything around. I don't think it's vampires or demons. They don't do that, do they? I mean, do demons leave marks or whatever?
I have never experienced, but for something like that, I'm going to recommend to you the other people. Katrina and Eric Rasbold at crossroadsoccult.com. Okay. Let me make sure this is where Michael can see it.
Yeah, I can. Crossroads.
She has written so many books for Llewellyn. She's brilliant. If I need conjure, if I need candle work, she is the one I go to.
There you go. I hope I got that right. Crossroads. Oh,
Crossroads.
I'm sorry. I messed up. I messed up.
That's all right.
Crossroads. I wrote crossroads.
No. crossroadsoccult.com.
There we go. This is the right one.
She's a bruja and a good one. I had her do Olympia on me a couple of years ago. That's the egg cleansing, and I had no idea it was going to do anything at all. It was powerful, very powerful. So she is one of my highly recommended people.
There it is. That is the correct URL. That,
yes.
as you all know, I do these things, and I constantly I'm the worst typist in the world. Ask Frank Hagen, who I write with.
But we love you.
he's like my grammar teacher at the same time. Here we go. Pam Nolan. When my husband and I moved to Kentucky to live with his daughter and son-in-law. Ooh. You
need to find out more before you do that move. And you need to make sure everybody's on board. But I'm seeing bitchcraft and manipulation. I want you to be very, very, very careful before you make that decision, because to quote Hamlet, something is rotten in the state of Denmark.
Something is rotten in the state. Let me see. Do you get a... Oh, Anne was asking, do you see a time frame when we will do that together?
Yes, as soon as you have a couple of come to Jesus meetings and you know what your challenges are, you can move forward. But you have to make sure that both of you are willing to do the talking. One of you cannot do the talking and the other one just coasts.
Thank you all so much for the thumbs up button. And Pam says, thank you very much.
My pleasure.
We still have a lot of people that are hovering. They're not writing, but they're hovering. And I see them, and they're all, let's see what, and they're all of them, they're in the Paul Lind. Hello, everybody from the Paul Lind, Michael Page. Thank you all for tuning in over there. Let's see.
We'll talk, we'll have coffee.
We'll talk and have coffee. But most people are zoomed in from Esther Goldberg TV, which is on YouTube. What's this? Chia, thank you. Yes, I love my mom so much. I hate I left her. I love my life. Hey, Facebook user. Facebook user comes in all the time. So, Facebook user, what's up? Where are you? I think you're like in London. I want to say you're in London somewhere. I can't remember. But we are at an hour and 23 minutes. Corbie's still raring to go here. So if you've got some questions you'd like to get answered, and I know there's a bunch of you in here and you have a question, type it into the comment section in either the YouTube studio or in the Facebook, and we will read it and get to it. And life is good. Do you have anything to drink there? Are you drinking tea or anything?
Raspberry seltzer.
Okay. Yeah, I had a cocktail. I actually had raspberry vodka and Pellegrino, pomegranate Pellegrino mixed together. It's pretty cool.
When I have a drink, I always have a spoiler. Named after River Song in Doctor Who. It's 2 ounces of gin, an ounce of Saint-Germain liqueur, and a half
Ooh.
an ounce of lime juice. Baby, it is fabulous.
Ooh, tasty, tasty. I have just
But one and you're done. You really
one
are.
and you're done. I'm not really, I drink 2 cocktails and that's usually it. Unless I'm with a social group, I might go for 3, but I just can't do it anymore. Let's see. Facebook user, I want to know what my ex coworker thinks about me.
And I would ask you why.
I would to say that. Why? Why do you care? Why do you care what
Seriously.
your ex coworker thinks? Because you're no longer, unless you had a romantic something.
Yeah, remember, there's a thing called remote spying.
Mm-hmm.
John and Betsy are dating. John can ask about Betsy. Betsy can ask about John. They break up. Betsy cannot ask who John is stuffing. Okay, that's remote spying.
Well, let's see here. Robin writes, would a move somewhere out of the United States, such as Spain, be good for me later in life?
Wishes fulfilled card. I'd say that's a big yes.
Woo. Okay. Let's see. Deidre, what is this? Deidre was just my ex is now all of a sudden into Norse paganism and still believes in God. I thought that religion didn't teach that. He wants to give a little blood offer. I hope to receive kind of thing. Huh?
I would question that. I tell people, I don't care if you're Christian, Jewish, Buddhist, Muslim, pagan, or believe in Ralph the Wonder Dog. I really don't. But Norse religion these days is very much into dark side, fascism, stormtroopers, etc. So I would be very, very, very careful.
Okay. Facebook user says the reason why he wants to know what my ex-coworker thinks about me is because I still have feelings for him.
He's off doing his own thing. He is gone forward. Sorry, he is not thinking about you and missing you.
Karen F. asks, Corbie, what's your thought on negative attachments? How do you know if you have one?
That would, I think, be a crossroads question. Katrina.
Right.
Yeah, but let me explain what she taught me. You can be cursed, but it isn't a Margaret Hamilton going, ee. Sometimes it's just literally negative energy attachment. So in that sense, I would say yes. Gotcha. And it could just be that you were in the wrong place at the wrong time. It wasn't a deliberate, arrow in your back. So what I would recommend for anyone who thinks they have a negative attachment is get in touch with Crossroads. Ask them to do Olympia, Limpia, on you. They can do it at a distance. They are not, this is not someone that charges you $6,000. Right. I don't think she even charges what she's worth, and she should.
They don't want you to do
this is a great way. If you think that you've got a negative attachment, they can peel it off you. They are fabulous that way.
Mm. Oh, yeah. I'm going to ask you some questions when we go off the air.
Uh-oh.
Well, just a couple. Yeah. But
just a couple. He holds up 5 fingers. Sorry.
No, but that's because I'm number one. Oh my God. Sarah says, thank you very much. Okay. There's still an enormous amount of people in the YouTube.
I love that. It's always nice to be loved.
You have to ask some questions if you feel like it, or you just enjoying the fact that Corbie and I have such magnetism on the screen and we keep you entertained.
We are hilarious together.
It's too funny. Let's see. They're all just watching. They're all just watching.
Oh, we're watching as well.
So let's see. There was, what was I going to ask? It had oh my God. Well, it's more climate change, and that doesn't even.
What about
I don't need a psychic medium to tell me about climate change. It's just the amount of the heat, and what is happening. I mean, it's crazy. I don't know if it's happened around the country, but in Vegas, we've had the weirdest weather ever. I mean, it is 100.
It's west of the Mississippi mostly.
Really?
Some in the south, of course. You look at the flooding in Florida. Where we are in New York, we're extremely lucky. What's the most climate change we've seen? Well, we have ticks, where they weren't used to. My red-winged blackbirds are coming back a couple of months before they used to. But we still got enough rain. We're still green. The terrible, terrible drought is west. And I believe that is because of the way the jet stream is and it's slowing down. But you'd have to go to a meteorologist to really find out.
Right. I mean, they're finding dead bodies now in Lake Mead. I don't know if you saw.
I know. The mafia is like, oops.
Did you see the meme I put up the other day with Lake Mead? And I used the end of the movie Poltergeist where all the dead bodies are coming out of the water.
Yes.
And that's what's happening here.
It ain't Cocoon, honey.
I'm like, wow. No, but I mean, the weather is, well, somebody explained to me the other day, I said, why do they keep building in Vegas? We're running out of water, but they keep putting up these subdivisions after subdivisions. But I found out that under the desert on the outside are these incredible wells.
Mm-hmm.
There is a lot of water here. It's not in Lake Mead, but it's in the wells under the ground. And a friend of mine has a farm. She raises chickens. That's where I get all my fresh eggs from. She has chickens and pigs and whatever. And she was telling me about the well. Her next door neighbors have wells and stuff, and they have plenty of water. But I mean, it's crazy. Let's see. Here we go. Let me see. Oh, Richard asked a really cool question right here. Here we go. Do you find crystals to be useful in your spiritual life as I hold mine through this entire thing?
Gotcha. All right. Entertain them. I'm going to go and grab something that will explain what he's talking about.
I love your outfit. Look at that. That is so Morticia Adams with red. Yeah, Richard, I have a big crystal here. And then my friend Sloan gave me this giant slab of selenite when she came here to visit me. But I'm sure it's show and tell with Corbie in a minute, because I know she's going to come out with some gigantic rock.
Actually, it's not a gigantic rock. I wear my crystals. I don't use my crystals. And they are all done by the incredible Barbie Hathaway of Hathaway's Elemental Light in Syracuse.
Oh, really?
But for instance, this is a charoite. Charoite is really, really great when you want to speak spiritual truths and be heard. Mm-hmm. But it's got a quartz crystal to keep it clear. It's got hematite, which is blocking negative energy. It's got amethyst. So yes, I use crystals, but I use them. I wear them. I decide, what do I need to be today? Am I going to do a lot of speaking? I wear charoite. If I'm going to go to a restaurant I don't know, I'll wear amethyst. Amethyst is very good for letting you know if something is good or bad for you in terms of what you're taking in. The place that I get all of my crystals from, if you're anywhere near New York, is Two Hawks Gallery. That's run by David and Lee Seward, and their stuff is primo. They are always going out to Arizona and Vegas and all of the places that have the massive, massive, massive.
I'll be right back.
Shows. Okay. So you see, this is what happens is both of us have stuff in the sandbox, in the playground in the back. And so we have to get it. We have to show you, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. What are you showing? What do you got? Let's see.
Okay.
Oh,
this I have.
Oh, that's selenite, isn't it?
This is at my front door.
Mm-hmm.
And it weighs heavy because I think it picks up all the crap that's trying to get through my front
selenite is incredible stuff.
Is this amazing?
Yes. Selenite crystals are good for peace, calm, mental clarity, well-being. I know that when we were considering putting an addition on the house, I got 4 selenite rods that I was going to plant in the ground at the 4 corners.
Get out of here, for real.
So your selenite is brilliant. Perfect.
Sloan, fabulous Sloan Bella, came and stayed at my home, and she brought that in her purse. I'm bringing this to you. You need it. It's at your front door. Put it there.
Sloan was on target.
It's been there for like about 5 years. And it's pretty amazing. It weighs a ton.
Yeah, selenite's heavy stuff.
But I was expecting, a little selenite. No, she brought like a slab. And I guess
that's the Hulk is by your door in some
right. And she said, she goes,
"You bad for Michael? Hulk smash."
All right, everybody, come on. We got some questions. If you've got them. Oh, look at that. We got compliments. Corbie, you look marvelous. And Michael, love your shirt. Thank you very much. Because I don't know if you heard me when you got up.
I
said,
did.
oh
I did.
That is such a fabulous top there.
If you have seamstresses out there, I'll share my secret.
What's that?
McCall's 6468 from about 8-10 years ago. It's a butterfly coat. My friend makes them for me. You throw it in the wash. They travel wonderfully. I know Esther would probably love it.
Esther has. You've seen the pictures of Esther's closet.
Yes, I have. But surely she has something for when she's on the plane.
She does. And she has a red one similar to that. I actually wore it to the Tonys once, but it's this beautiful red flowing thing that she has. But oh yeah, she loves all that stuff. I got to bring her back. Well, I'm supposed to do voiceover transitions for the super secret project.
Yes.
You know, but I mean, how do I say it? It's just total chaos around here. And but the gentleman, the director of the big special that I'm doing on one of the big streaming channels, got pneumonia. And so we're behind like 2 weeks during COVID. So he's healed now. But he said the great part was he lost 20 pounds. And so we're supposed to do that this week. And then tomorrow I'm supposed to be talking to this management company. I have a 10:30 meeting in the morning. What is that? Hold on. Bonnie says, what is this?
This is about the management company, honey.
What does that say?
That's the Ace of Pentacles. That's the big money card.
Wasn't asking for that, but thank you.
What? You think I'm going to ignore that question? Nah.
No, well, it's my ex-agent from Beverly Hills, Michael Place, set me up with this gentleman who works with the company from Beverly Hills, but he moved here to Las Vegas a few months ago. And Michael said, oh my God, you have to know Michael Airington. And so we're supposed to have it last week, but we scheduled a Zoom getting to know you meeting tomorrow morning, which is hysterical because he's only blocks away.
That's okay. Take the meeting.
I know I am. But it just made me laugh. So, you know, that's what I've got going on. Hold on. Let's see the color of the healing stone. Melissa Newton says, what is that? Hold on. What is the healing stone? Oh, you held up the healing stone.
Oh, yeah. This is Charoite, and it is not a healing stone. It is good for speaking your truth.
It almost looks purple. Is it like a
purple? It is purple.
So it's purple.
Right. And yes, and the stone, I'll spell the name of the stone for you. Charoite, Charoite. Right. The other stone that is good, especially digestive, etc., is amethyst. Amethyst is very good. It keeps you from getting drunk. Things like that.
Michael needs a cup of coffee. No, I just had a yawn. I needed oxygen. Let's see. I'm checking up here. Sloan wears crystals in her bra. I'm gonna start wearing them in my underwear. See what happens. Maybe that'll change my love life. Oh, here we go.
New York abstains courteously, Michael.
I'm sorry. Can you choose not to come back again, or is reincarnation mandatory until we learn our lessons?
Robin, you'll never be back. Your recipe is a one and done. The soul chooses to come back or not come back, of course. Here's the way I'm going to explain it. Okay.
Okay, this is cool.
Let's take a look at the actor Matt Smith. Matt was the 11th Doctor. He's my doctor. The bow tie and the suspenders and the crazy best friend. But when he was done playing the Doctor, the bow tie and the suspenders and the too short pants went in the closet, and he turned around and he played Prince Philip for the first 2 seasons of The Crown. A totally different person. But what animated both of them was Matt Smith. So we are like the parts that are played by the soul. It doesn't mean that you snuff out and it's like you never existed.
Mm-hmm.
When we cross over, the good parts of ourselves, the compassion, the curious, the loving, all of that is what our soul has expressed down here. You'll still be you for that, but you'll get rid of the judgments, the hypochondria, the depression, all of that, because those are some things that the soul gives us to do those learning aspects while we are here on earth. Again, the best book to explain this is Robert Schwartz, Your Soul's Plan. So,
what is that, Tom? Hold on. What is this? Michael, have you ever contacted Paul Lynde? And if yes, is he happy that you're keeping his legacy alive? Believe it or not, yes. My friend Allie will reaffirm that. But by the way, somebody just said, Corbie, you look like Minnie Driver. Very pretty.
thank you.
And but Tom, just let me tell you about Paul Lynde. Paul Lynde has been a part of the Paul Lynde show that I have done since day one. And I had a reading like back in 2005. It was a gift from a friend. And this, I still, to this day, I don't remember who the lady was, but a friend of mine had given me the reading. And she had said that, yes, he has his hand over everything that has been a part of that show, which is why you've had Peter Marshall involved, Cloris Leachman, Kay Ballard. Every single one of his friends came and helped you write that show in their own way. But the one thing that she told me that I still do every single performance is I have a candle. And she said, when you put the makeup on and you get ready to go on stage, you light that candle and you go, Paul, come down. This is your show. And let him come down. I get goosebumps talking about it. And then when I'm done, when I leave the stage and take my bows and say goodnight and walk backstage to my dressing room, I walk in and I go, Paul, it's time to leave. And I blow out the candle, go. And she told me I had to do that because I channel him so heavily that I should not, they don't want me to pick up his alcoholism, his habits, his bad habits, because I could. And so you just let him inhabit for that time and you let it go. But yes, that is the answer to that, Tom. And I've explained it before, but I just want to explain it again. Let's see. Hold on. We got some more people here popping in. There we go. Let's see. Triple Crown. Here we go. I need healing from many broken bones. I have to find a job and may be headed to bankruptcy. Hoping to avoid bankruptcy and get a good job. Any thoughts, Corbie? Thank you from Triple Crown.
You are welcome. This is something that I would suggest for Katrina. This is why. She's got fixed candles. Fixed candles have the energy in them. I use them. They have gotten healing for me. They have gotten breakthrough jobs for me. They have healed relationships. Her stuff rocks. Crossroadsoccult.com. Go to that page and you're going to see products and you want fixed candles. Healing, job, money bringing. This is not fake stuff. Okay. As I said earlier, I do not recommend anybody to you that I haven't used myself, found absolutely legitimate and trust. And no, I do not get a kickback from Katrina. All of us who are metaphysicians, we support each other because all boats rise.
Right.
Okay? She does stuff I don't. So I am happy to send you to the best bruja I have ever known.
Which is incredible. I mean, that's one of the reasons why I created that little page for you guys. So you all would just, it's there when you need it, but it's, I find that you and Deb and Lewis and Marla and Sloan, everybody reaches out, and because sometimes you need a little light shining your way to give you a little, an opinion or a thought to help you, because sometimes it's difficult, you know, as a psychic medium to read yourself. Am I right?
The only time that I really do it well is New Year's Eve. I have a tradition. I pull a tarot card, a medicine wheel card, a Ganesh card, a Dakini card, a rune. I do my numerology for the year, and inevitably, the meaning for each of these cards from these wildly different decks, it always hits the same thing. This year, it's been all about stepping up for teaching. Being in the spotlight to teach and bring the knowledge forward. I got nothing like that last year, because last year was a 7-year for me. It was a sabbatical year where I needed to do the inner knowledge. So, but if I need a serious reading, people I go to, Stacy Wells, Anita Merrick, also known as Crystal Wind. She is a certified tarot master. She's fabulous. Who else do I go to? Deb helps me get my head straight.
Debbie Tatel.
Yeah. But I don't go for readings very often. I will be perfectly honest.
Right. And you don't. I mean, that's the thing is none of you all call each other up constantly. However, Debbie Tatel and I have, I don't know if she's told you about this particular person that has been driving her nuts, and we won't name names, but you know what I'm talking about.
Yes.
Anyway, Triple Crown says, I do my own novena candles for 9 days at a time. Thank you, Corbie.
Triple Crown. That's the way to do it. Bring the candle magic down. You know how to do it. That's perfect.
Okay, hold on. Let me get another crazy. Okay, block user, delete comment. There we go. Where'd that woman go? There was this. She had the. Oh, okay. Here, this one I thought was Deidre.
Donna Marie Crawford, medium.
What?
She's another Donna Marie Crawford, medium. She's a scam.
Gotcha. Block user, delete
medium.
comment.
Ernest Chris is a scam.
Thank you.
Welcome.
They're popping in. User was blocked and it was deleted. My mom passed 6 years ago at 48. Her birthday is 801. Mine is 810. I have not stopped seeing 801, 108, 810, 1008, 1108 nonstop. What does that mean? 8s
are all about financial success. 1s are take charge of your own life. So I have no idea, Deirdre, what you do, but I would not be surprised if you had a real flair for entrepreneurship, bringing money in through your own power. And probably your mom is going to peek over the celestial balcony and give you a little instruction.
Right. I'm just, there was this gentleman, I'm trying to figure him out. He's written in 3 different, sort of a spirit. Hold on. It's free GMO for us all. Hold on. Yes, we all, let's see. Hi, everyone. Yes, we all need to, I guess he was commenting, but this is a prison planet and we spiritual. We don't remember our source or our past lives.
No, it's not a prison planet.
No. It's
again, that's human.
Right.
God is compassionate. Sometimes we feel like it's a prison planet because we're being idiots.
Melissa,
we come down here to learn. And sometimes learning is hard. Kiddo, I have done the cancer dance 3 times. I've been married more than once. I've had to deal with abuse. It's no prison planet. It's how I had to learn, and it made me a better teacher.
Okay, hold on. There's another one. They're coming in all of a sudden. There we go. Another one. I've applied. Okay, Bella, I've applied for 2 jobs in my area. Do you see me at least getting one of those jobs?
Let's see. Job 1. Good shot. Job 2. Big yes. So yeah, I think at least one of them is going to be in your pocket. Nice job.
And Triple Crown says, very, very thankful, helpful. Thank you for letting us ask questions.
That's what I do for a living, kids.
I know. And remember, I'm going to stick it up here one more time. Let me go here. If you want to get a hold of Corbie and set yourself up for a reading, there's her website right there. It's awesome. It's new. It's fabulous. And it's so much fun to play around on it. You'll learn everything about Corbie. And there's these specials for the month of June, and you can register for a 1-hour prize. I guess they call it prize, 1 hour.
You go into a raffle.
You go into a raffle.
You have a reading this month with me. You sign up for my newsletter. You follow me on Twitter. You follow me on YouTube. I'll know, and those are each tickets in the raffle bucket.
You got it.
And
well, my darling.
Yes.
I'm just saying we're getting ready to hit 2 hours. So,
how are you? Look, you know me. I could go forever.
I'm fine. I see someone like yourself, and it's like I never want to take advantage. But if you're
if my husband was home and saying, "Let's have dinner," I'd leave.
Right.
He's not flying an airplane. I can stay. The one thing that I want to remind your people of is when you have a reading with me, you're going to get an MP3 recording because you will never remember everything. And if you're taking notes, you're not listening. Okay. So that way you will have the stuff to listen to afterwards, which is really important because people get it all garbled in their head. They don't really remember what I've told them.
You know, it's been, we're going to go off a little bit here for a second because, okay, you are world renowned, psychic medium, and we haven't talked about this since we did the first show many months ago, and there's a lot of new people on here.
Moses was in diapers,
So
yes.
I'm gonna be Esther asked you, and so Esther asked you these questions. I just want to ask you just to refresh people. How did you know you were a psychic medium? When did you realize that you had the gift?
Well,
There you go, Ronan.
it was more when I was 9. I read a book called The Witch Family by Eleanor Estes, and I went, "Oh, there's magic in the world. I want to go find it." 1973, when I was a senior in high school, I worked part-time at Spencer Gifts. They had the James Bond 007 tarot deck, and I bought it. Yes. And so I read for friends for 20 years because the stories fascinated me. And I made sure that I kept my ego out of the way. That's why all of a sudden in the early 90s, Spirit said, "Hello, you're working for us," handed me my draft notice. And out of nowhere, I could do hands-on healing and talk to dead people.
And it just happened.
Now, there is anecdotal evidence that those of us who are light workers, the vast majority of us got a club upside the head when we were kids. When I was 4, I was sliding down Kramer Hill in Camden, New Jersey, back when it was still white picket fences. And nobody had taught me how to roll off a sled. So I was headed straight for a concrete bench and hit it. Boom, right here. It was, I didn't fracture my thick skull, nothing.
Right.
You know, some black eyes and stuff, but that was it. And so I'm another one that, without it being in the family, without my being told I should look for it, all of a sudden the psychic stuff started kicking loose. So
how'd you meet Allie? Yeah, what? How did you meet Allie? Was it on Blog Talk Radio like everybody else did?
God, maybe it was. I don't remember. Maybe it was through Sharita Star. I don't remember. But or it was Best Psychics Directory, one of those.
Right. Yeah, I remember it was 2004, I think it was, is when she came. I was on Blog Talk. I was one of the very first paid people on Blog Talk back in the day. Wow. And she came on, and then we ended up now live. Okay, here we go. Here's one from Bonnie McKay. Why do some people have such pain and suffering in their lives and others do not?
It's what they decide to learn. All right. One of the reasons I tell you to read Your Soul's Plan by Robert Schwartz is I'm the only one who's ever been in his books, both as one of his channels and one of his subjects. So this soul came down wanting to learn that women were worth more than their bodies. They had a right to their own autonomy, and that it wasn't their bargaining chip.
Right.
Most of the time I come down male, 80%. 20 is when I do my tough lives. So by the time I was 11, I had a Dolly Parton figure. I am not kidding. Put a brunette wig on her, and that was me.
Right.
And so something happened with my abusive mother at 16. I could have gone in two directions. I could have denied her accusations and stayed pristine and virginal till I was married, etc. And that would have been a very easy life. Instead, I figured that all the horrible things she told about me must be true. And so I went to live them, which gave me 30 years of utter misery. It put me in line for rape, poverty, abuse, bad marriages, the works. But it was how this soul was learning. Gotcha. It is called the examined life. Okay. I have this thing happening and I really don't want it, but it's going to happen. Your first question is, what can I learn from it? For me, the second question is, how can I teach with it? And the next thing is next. Don't stay stuck in your story. Don't be a pity party. Don't be the professional victim. Right. There are so many women, they had colon cancer 12 years ago and they introduced themselves. Hi, my name is Mary Sue and I'm a cancer survivor. Well, I was the Betty Crocker homemaker for New Jersey for 1973. I was, but I don't introduce myself like that now because I've moved on.
It's like so many people on Facebook.
So, Bonnie, that's the key. It's not carrot and stick. Let me give a quick example of someone that you would think must have a terrible karma, but didn't. And that's going back to Ryan White, the kid who had AIDS in the late 80s. Oh, my
God, yes.
Okay. Pariah, his family was badly treated, but Elton John made friends with him, loved the family. When Ryan died, played at his funeral, was so
Mhm.
inspired by Ryan that he became clean and sober and has been for over 30 years and started the Elton John AIDS Foundation, which has raised $500 million
$1 billion. Right.
for AIDS research worldwide. Ryan White's karma was not bad karma. Ryan's soul said, could be a tough life, could be a short life, but look at what we can cause to happen. So Ryan White's karma was service, and he was successful.
See that? Happy hippie lives matter. That's
Okay.
sort of answering your
Karma
question.
is 5 things, hippie. Unbalanced energy, which is a neutral, healing, service, contrast, and healing of beliefs. My karma was healing the belief that women were lesser than men and only worth what their body said and had no autonomy.
Mm.
You can either learn it gut course, which I would have done if I had stayed virginal and then just gotten married, or
Right.
double major plus lab, which is what I did. Either way, the life is successful because the lessons are learned and brought back to the soul when the personality is done.
Aren't we learning a lot today, everybody? We
Didn't know I
are.
was going to have my professor hat on.
Let's see. Triple Crown is back. Wait a minute. Richard comes up with these cool things. As a child, I used to visualize dark smoke floating above people in rooms, and I felt it was my job to filter it out.
That was just who you were. Darks, whether you were seeing pollution, whether you were seeing illness, or whether you were seeing boogeymen. I don't know.
Mhm.
But right then you understood that you were a spiritual being. So that was training ground for you.
Mary Petty says, thank you so much for sharing all this. I could listen for hours. Aw,
Yes, you darling.
it's so interesting. When you ask us good questions and you ask, interesting questions, it's much more interesting than vague questions. You know what I mean? Let's see. What does Triple Crown say here? Do you see a relationship ever coming for me? It's been so long. I forgot what men look like. I think they're the taller ones with stronger arms, right?
Triple
Thank you.
Crown, you'd better not watch Encanto and look at Luisa. So
I forgot what men look like.
let me see.
Oh, that's too funny.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8, 9, 10, 11.
Oh my God, how many cards are you getting? You're lucky, Triple.
Next summer, 14 months, kid. Next August, somebody serious.
So you picked 10 cards and you grabbed one. I thought we
No.
Oh, okay.
No, I counted 1 month, 2 months, 3 months, 4 months.
Oh,
And
gotcha.
there are certain cards that come up that say relationship, and at month 14, it was that one.
Right. Gotcha. Okay, that's what I was like, oh my God, she's got 10 cards she's gonna pull. And that was the months of the year. Everybody, we're getting ready to hit 2 hours in just a second. Triple Crown, the same. Oh, Irina, you feel the same way, sweetheart. It's okay. Let's see where we at. Well, let's see. Interesting. Okay. Hi guys. Hey, it's John from England. Hey, John, where have you been? All right, John in England. I lost my husband to cancer about 8 months ago. And Corbie, I so often sense he's in the room with me. I even turn to speak to him sometimes. Any thoughts on those we have lost still being with us?
Very often, they will hang out with us several months, sometimes even a year, to make sure we're all right. But remember, when we cross over, it is not just those from this life that we see. When I cross over, yes, I'll see my father, my mother, my wonderful stepmother, Uncle Harold, Uncle Irving. But all the people I've lived other lives with, I am sure that I will be, tackled and hugged by all of the pilots I flew with 100 years ago in World War I as well.
Right.
I was male. We see everybody. But what you're getting is there are parts of your husband's soul that still wear the husband suit, I'll call it. And they come down and they can reach to you. There have been people that I have known where the husband was killed very young, very suddenly, and there is palpable energy with them for several months until the person who has crossed over knows that they will be able to make it.
Okay, I'm trying to figure out if Belle Johnson is a dead thing. Hold on. I'm adopted. It was a close adoption. I know nothing of my birth parents. Are they dead?
That's she's not asking to speak with them.
Right. Okay.
That's a Sylvia Brown question. Let me explain you, Belle.
She's going to explain. This
Um,
is for you.
Sylvia Brown was asked if someone's daughter was dead, and she said yes, and the daughter was alive. And so she caused all of this misery. So on something like this,
Uh-huh.
what I would tell you is whether or not they passed, if you want to learn about them, go look. There may still be information that is important for you. That's why you're still getting the oomph.
Right.
Not necessarily whether they're alive or dead.
Right. There you go. Da, da, da. John says, thank you very much. All the way over there in England. Hey, John, did you go to the Platinum Jubilee? Did you see the Prince Charles is, he's just dying to be the king. And Kamala, they're just sitting there because they were in place of Queen Elizabeth. Because did you watch any of that last night on television, Corbie?
Yes. Hearing Charles call her mummy kind of.
Mommy,
how are you? Rose, but
I have a hard time with Camilla. I just do. I don't know why, but I just have a difficult time.
The favorite part for me, believe it or not, was Diana Ross, but because my oldest and dearest friend from high school, Robin Lemon, has been her wardrober since 1983.
Wow.
Oh, Robin has, in high school, I was front stage, Robin was backstage. She's done for the Alvin Ailey Ballet. She's done for Van Halen and David Lee Roth.
Right.
Def Leppard. One of the best stories of that, way back, this is David Lee Roth on his first solo tour. And they were coming up here to Glens Falls. And so we cooked. I made food for the entire band. Even Steve Vai was vegetarian, made something for him. And we put it all on the other bus. Right. And David Lee Roth was, where's mine? And it was like, it's on the other bus, guy. Which was great fun. I mean, all of the stories. And we were exhausted. So we grabbed one of the rooms from one of the crew people.
Right.
3 o'clock, somebody comes in, turns on the light, about to clean it. We shriek, they turn off the light, close the door. We get out of there within 3 minutes because we were not supposed to be in the room. But of course, back then I was in my 20s and lived dangerously. What can I tell you?
Unbelievable. Unbelievable. I loved hearing everybody seemed to watch it. Well, my love, we just hit 2 hours.
I know, and we're probably both a little flagging, but
you'll be back in another month. You'll be back in July. Let's see, July.
I will. I absolutely
we'll figure out which day it is.
We'll look at the date. We'll put it on, and
it won't be 4th of July weekend.
No,
but everybody,
go to my website.
For Corbie Mitleid, and I'm going to put this up here one more time. And if you want to have the most incredible reading you can possibly have, you go right there to her. Where the hell is it? There it is. Right there. There it is. I'm putting it up there. Her website, Corbie Mitleid. Even if you don't get a reading, go to the website. It's so informative. It's so nice. She has done so much to make it the most incredible website. It's so professional. Well, of course, she's a professional, but I mean, it's just so really professional that you would love it.
Yummy stuff, guys.
I love it when you come on. I mean, you always, okay, I have to let you know, Corbie, you have set the bar always with the longest shows. The last time was at 90 minutes. This time you went for 2 hours. Nobody ever comes on and keeps everybody occupied for that period of time. And I thank you so much from the bottom of my heart. Hang in there for 2 seconds afterwards. And if you want to, you go grab yourself a refresher of the tea. Give it up for Corbie Mitleid. I'm Michael Airington, and I think we're going to bring Esther in the middle of the week. And I'll be back next Sunday. Bye-bye, everybody.